Welcome to these Sunday readings. Welcome back to anyone who's been following any of my readings, including these that we do every Sunday, where you listen to your intuition and you follow your intuition. Trust your inner knowing. Sit possibly with these 3 separate readings before making a decision. Listen to your heart, I think, is really coming through. Listen to your heart. And whichever reading you're drawn to, you may want to pause the video for a short while and just focus on the 3 different readings, reading 1, reading 2 and reading 3, before then moving on to listen to the one that is really speaking to you. There are usually 3 very different messages. It was interesting when I was dowsing for the cards, I heard very clearly that we would have 3 from this particular pack, as well as a Moonology card and a relationship card and our runes. We almost always have a rune in the Sunday readings. For those of you that are new to my channel and new to my readings, welcome. I'm Jenny Florence. I worked as an accredited counsellor for over 27 years, so my readings are very orientated to my emotional awareness and to the journey of our soul's evolution within the human experience. So guys, on the screen below you, you will see the timings coming up. So whichever reading you are drawn to, you can move the video through and pick up onto and connect in with the reading that is speaking to you the most. For those of you that haven't yet subscribed to the channel, it's free to subscribe. If you press the subscription button and the little bell icon, you'll get notification as soon as I post any new readings. So guys, sit with these, see where you are drawn, and yeah, so much love to you all. Welcome to reading 1. We have the rune of flow. Interesting rune. It speaks of the ebb and flow in careers, relationships. Sometimes it's not unlike the High Priestess card in the tarot. This rune asks us to connect to our deeper knowing, our inner wisdom, to remain centered, to go inwards, to look for insight. We have a card of heart-to-heart conversations. Honestly discuss your feelings with each other. This would suggest there is a conflict or an issue where something is needing to be voiced. Look at the bigger picture. You are also being asked to stand back from something. I think there's a definite, I'm hearing a definite need to evaluate. The heart-to-heart conversation may even be with yourself. It may even be, it may even be that connection between your, what I would call your ego mind, your ego self, and your higher self. It's interesting, I think, when we think of the negative aspects of ego, they are very often orientated to unmet childhood needs. When someone's ego is in play and there's some kind of compensation, it goes back to a childhood wound. You may need to stand back to look at the bigger picture, but really try and derive or gain some kind of understanding of what's actually going on. Our cards: Knight of Swords, 8 of Wands, Ace of Pentacles. So something's happened, guys, that is causing you to have to look at something. Something has, an event or someone's behaviour, someone's behaved in a particular way. It's like you can't avoid something. That's what I'm really hearing. It's in your face. Something's happened. There's no way around it. It can't be swept under the carpet anymore. You have to actually address that. The 8 of Wands, along with the Ace of Pentacles, suggests that it is time to move something forwards. There's a need to really understand your feelings and also understand where the other person is coming from. Stepping away from the ego self and into a connection to a greater universal knowing. There's a need for compassion. And in whatever situation is around you, whether there's, career, relationships, that there's a need for something to move into a space of flow. But it is time to move something forwards, and your understanding is what allows that to take place. And there is a real promise of a new beginning. There's energy for a new beginning. You can actually orientate yourself from an entirely new position, and I'm going to say a position of empowerment. However you move something forwards, whether it's a heart-to-heart conversation with yourself, between aspects of yourself, or you move it forwards into a conversation with someone else, whatever has taken place, you are no longer able to avoid it. You have to address it, but the energy is with you to move something forwards, providing you orientate yourself from a position of compassion, of higher knowing, of greater wisdom. Then a really fruitful promise is offered, a fruitful outcome. So much love to you guys. Welcome to reading number 2. So we have the rune of breakthrough, pretty powerful energy this rune has. A major shift, a completion, a change of direction even. Religious factors. Your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. Interesting, because this can sometimes signify a breakthrough on a spiritual level, a different connectedness, a different level of awareness. I'm kind of hearing commitment as well, actually. Emotions are running high. If any of you are thinking of proposing or taking something forwards in a relationship, I'm going to say this has got some pretty dynamic energy. My sort of solar plexus feels like it's being activated. It's really, really interesting. There's a real tingle around this. Let's have a look at our cards. 6 of Swords, 10 of Swords, King of Cups. Okay, guys. There's a shift. That's what I'm really hearing. Something is moving to a higher level, to a different level. I'm not hearing it. It's really interesting. Emotions are running high. Sometimes when emotions run high, it's an indication that, maybe there's been a flare-up, or it can have negative connotations, but actually I'm not feeling anything negative in this reading. It feels highly charged, but in a powerfully positive way. Even if there has been a challenge, I'm going to say it feels like, a difficult situation is coming to an end. It's almost like if there has been some conflict, it's been brought out into the open. There's a level of awareness and knowing and understanding that's created a shift. Almost like, it's a bit like if you have an abscess or something and it bursts. It's not always easy, but it brings relief. It means that we can move something forwards. We can see it for how it is. And I'm going to say this just it doesn't feel like there's an ounce of negativity in here. Something there is a major breakthrough, a major shift. There's a major level of mutuality, acknowledgement. Something is being moved forwards, and whatever awareness and insight you are gaining, your level of understanding and your mutuality in respect is what is enabling something to be significantly shifted. There is it's not a warning, that's the wrong word. What I'm really hearing is there's also a need for the overgivers in any of you who are listening, make sure you are considering your own needs as well as the needs of someone else. Understanding is fantastic and it does move things forwards, but you need to make sure there is definitely a mutuality of understanding. Respect is a two-way process. Respect is a boundary. It's like an energetic field that sits between us. So if we think about respect in a relationship, I mean, you know whether someone is respectful of you or disrespectful. And even if someone is, let's say you meet someone who manipulates, you know the energy, the flavour of something is still there if there is a level of disrespect within that field. So respect is like a boundary, but it's an invisible boundary. We can't actually see it, but we can feel it. Make sure you are looking after your own self-respect as well as respecting the needs of others. That's the one, almost like a provision that is underpinning this. Real breakthrough, real energy to take something forwards. It really is as though a conflict, a period of conflict is over, or a specific conflict is over. It definitely feels as though it's within relationships. Some kind of difference has been overcome, but to sit on solid ground with that, you need to make sure that you are looking after your own well-being as well as the needs of others. Respect is the key word that I'm hearing again and again. It's coming through. But a mutuality in respect is absolutely vital for this breakthrough to become consolidated into something permanent and real. So much love to you guys, and I will see you soon. Welcome to reading number 3. We have the rune of wholeness. Beautiful energy. This is a calling of, it's almost like a calling of your soul to maybe travel inwards, to really reflect, to deepen your awareness, to become a more consolidated and whole human being. Interesting, you deserve love, you are lovable. Meditate and contemplate. Along with wholeness, I don't think you could get a stronger message. Is there any element of self-doubt going on within you guys? Are you having doubts as to, literally your lovability? Your lovableness, your lovability. Do you have doubts? And are you needing to go inwards to heal something? That's what I'm really hearing. Okay, so this is about being ready for love, but a relationship that hasn't yet emerged, and there is a need to go inwards. There's a need for some kind of healing. There's a fear. It's really interesting. At either end of this reading, we have 9 of Swords. Fears or anxieties about what the future will hold, and a card that says you deserve love. It's a confirmation. A rune that says you may need to travel inwards, you may need to heal something inside of yourselves in order to manifest and create something that you are looking for. Now, the card of Temperance, this is an invitation to notice yourself and to listen to yourself, and to notice when you get knocked off balance. What is it that knocks you off balance? What presses your buttons? What kind of circumstances, events, words, what kind of people literally knock you off your center? What happens when you get knocked off your center? Can you notice the triggers? Because if you notice them, you can literally travel backwards. You can possibly identify where they've come from in order to put them down and know that they belong in the past. But you can also just give yourself permission to recognize they are no longer relevant to you now. This card also asks you to recognize the kind of circumstances and events that allow you to regain your center. It may be meditation that works for you. It could be a walking meditation. It may just be finding that kind of inner stillness, that inner peace that reorientates you. If we keep our own energy clean, clear, then we are available to manifest that which we desire. If we are full of self-doubt, or inner beliefs that leave us feeling as though we are not deserving of love, then in some way we block our own ability to manifest something. Now, this card is very strong in the beginning. It says you are ready for love. Yeah, you are absolutely ready for a new beginning. It may not have manifested yet, but the energy of love is around you. The possibility of love is around you. And that really is orientating in all areas of your life, whether that's a job that you love or a relationship, or relationships where people are honoring you, valuing you. But you are ready for this. I'm hearing you've done the work. But it's as though there is still some kind of, something is still slightly clinging, some lingering of self-doubt around something. And this reading is really saying to you, you are worthy. You deserve. Yeah, you are entitled. You are a child of God. You are made in the image of God. You can call it whatever. I'm using the word God. You can say God or Allah or source energy or the universe. You are deserving. And in noticing anything that is like a trigger to knock you off balance, and in noticing what regains your balance, you can become active in recentering yourself, noticing a trigger, putting it down and recentering yourself, because you know how to do that. It's like developing your toolkit. It's almost as though there is just something still lingering that you are needing to just put down. Any moment, any fleeting thought of self-doubt, put it down. This is the road to wholeness. Yeah, we travel inwards, and from then on, from our inner center, everything else radiates out. Meditate, contemplate, notice. You are deserving. You are worthy. Yeah, do not allow the past to cling. So much love to you guys, so much love, and I look forward to seeing you again soon.